In the matter of State of Kerala versus Asianet Satellite Communications Limited, Supreme Court dismissed writ petition filed by SSC before High Court and allowed civil appeal filed by the State of Kerala. The civil appeals arose from judgments of High Courts of Allahabad, Delhi, Guwahati, Gujarat, Jharkhand, Kerala, Madras, Odisha, Punjab and Haryana, Rajasthan and Uttarakhand, while two writ petitions had been filed before the court under Article 32 of Constitution by MS Tata Play and another and MS Tata Play Limited. The sessions had filed these appeals assailing provisions of respective state acts under which tax on entertainment has charged on them on the premise that their activity is relatable to the field of entertainment as envisaged under Entry 62, List 2 of 7th Schedule to the Constitution. It was their contention that they were not liable to pay entertainment tax or the luxury tax under the respective provisions of the state enactments. It was further case of SSC that they were engaged in broadcasting of signals through television channels to subscribers of those channels. Hence, possibly they were liable to pay service tax to central government under entry 97 list 1 of 7th schedule of constitution. The question whether the appellants or the assessees are liable to pay entertainment tax under provisions of respective state enactments which are relatable to entry 62 list 2 of 7th schedule of the constitution and are also liable to pay service tax under the provisions of Finance Act 1994 as amended from time to time as a provider of taxable service, namely broadcasting service, within scope and ambit of entry 97 list 1, which was a residuary entry for relevant purpose of assessment, was the moot question which arose in these appeals. Having regard to judgments of the court in MPV Sundara Ramir and HS Tillong, court observed that under the Constitution of India, power to tax is not an incidental or ancillary power. The power to tax cannot be implied within regulatory entry under our constitution. There is also distinction between the power to regulate and control the power to tax. However, occasionally a levy may be imposed as a regulatory measure. Thus, the taxation entries under List 1 and List 2, there being no taxation entry in concurrent list, are clearly demarcated within the scope of entries in aforesaid respective lists. Effect of this principle is that subject of taxation is considered to be a distinct matter for purpose of legislative competence, and power to tax cannot be deduced from general legislative entry as an ancillary power. Also, a power to legislate as to principal matters specifically mentioned in entries shall also include within its expanse a legislation touching upon incidental and ancillary matters. The principle is derived from the use of expression with respect to in Article 246 of Constitution. Reliance can be placed on dictum of Supreme Court majority opinion in HS Tillong case to observe that entry 97 list 1, which is residuary entry relatable to Article 248 of Constitution, cannot be invoked or pressed into service when a particular entry empowering parliament or legislature of a state to pass laws regarding taxation on any subject is specifically enumerated either in list 1 or list 2. As there was no taxation entry in list 3, both parliament as well as legislature of state cannot have competence to levy tax on any one subject of a list. Fee in respect of any of matters in 3 lists does not include power to levy tax. Distinction between levy of fee and levy of tax is clear, and it is not necessary to go into that aspect in these cases except to reiterate that there was no entry for taxation in concurrent list 3. While interpreting taxation entries in list 1 or 2, while determining legislative competence to levy a tax, all efforts must be made to interpret them in such a way as to give expansive content and meaning to same, having regard to constitutional scheme under which distribution of legislative powers has been envisaged in 7th schedule, and bearing in mind object and intent behind them, and also advances made in human thought and technology. The expression subject to and with respect to in Article 246 of Constitution aids the applicability of doctrine of pith and substance to find out the true character of the enactment and the entry within which it would fall. The said doctrine is applied to resolve an issue regarding legislative competence of a legislature to enact a particular law in relation to subject relatable to an entry in a list under 7th schedule of Constitution. Any apparent conflict with respect to an entry in another list is resolved on basis of pith and substance doctrine. The expression broadcasting has been assigned the meaning as per clause C of section 2 of the Prasar Bharati Broadcasting Corporation of India Act 1990 in terms of definition clause in section 65(13) of the Finance Act 1994 as amended by Finance Act 2001. Under the Prasar Bharati Broadcasting Corporation of India Act 1990, the expression broadcasting includes dissemination of any form of communication by transmission of electromagnetic waves through space or through cables intended to be received by general public either directly or indirectly through medium of relay stations. The expression broadcasting and broadcasting agency or organization has been redefined with the object of expanding the same. A television program broadcast in India for general public is a taxable service in relation to broadcasting, even if the encryption of signals and beaming thereof through satellite might have taken place outside India. Within the passage of time, expression broadcasting has included transmission of electromagnetic waves through space or through cables, direct to home signals, or by any means to cable operator, including multi-system operator or any other person acting on behalf of said agency or organization through its branch office, agent, representative appointed in India, or by any person who acts on its behalf. Section 6572 ZK defines taxable service to include broadcasting agency as a service provider. Thus, if any service is provided to a client by broadcasting agency or organization in relation to broadcasting in any manner, it would be a taxable service. The expression broadcasting agency or organization means any agency or organization engaged in providing service in relation to broadcasting in any manner, either having its place of business in India or outside India through its branch office, subsidiary, or representative in India, or any agent appointed in India, or any person acting on their behalf. Section 66 provides for charge of service tax, which is a charging section. The service tax on a broadcasting agency is at the rate of 5% of value of taxable services, that is 5% of gross amount charged by service provider. Broadcasting service is a taxable service and broadcasting service provider is required to pay service tax under provisions of Finance Act 1994 as amended from time to time. Bearing in mind meaning of entertainment and amusement, and since they come within the scope of luxuries, therefore the state legislature has legislative competence to impose entertainment tax under entry 62 list 2 as a tax on luxuries. The expression entertainments has been discussed in the case of Geeta Enterprises, Drive-In Enterprises, and Purvi Communication. The expression entertainment includes within its scope and ambit not only provider of entertainment but also the receiver, inter alia, through a medium of television. Thus, entertainment through television network, either through cable television or DTH through set-top box, with the object of providing entertainment to viewer, can be taxed in the terms of entry 62 list 2. Aspect theory or double aspect doctrine is a tool of constitutional interpretation used in Canada to resolve issues which arise within both federal and provincial government and have the right to legislate on a subject. In India, there appears to be no clarity on application of aspect theory in the Canadian sense. One of the reasons being that in India, both the parliament as well as state legislature do not have powers to levy tax on the same subject. The aspect theory has been applied in India essentially to ascertain whether an activity would fall within the scope and ambit of enactment and whether the said enactment in pith and substance would fall within entry of a particular list of the seven schedules so as to confer legislative competence to tax that aspect of the activity. As a result, it can be said that one aspect of an activity, say broadcasting service, can be amenable to service tax, while the other aspect of the same activity, namely providing entertainment to television viewers, as that is object of broadcasting, can be amenable to luxury tax under entry 62 list 2 of the constitution, which could be levied on recipients of such entertainment or on service providers who are essentially broadcasters. Broadcasting service, being a taxable service under provisions of Finance Act 1994, read along with amendments made from time to time, would enable both the Parliament to impose service tax on broadcasting service and state legislatures having the legislative competence to levy entertainment tax on those who provide entertainment to recipients or the television viewers to impose a luxury tax. Court said we follow the judgment of the court in Western India Theatres Limited in observing that entry 62 list 2 contemplates a tax on entertainments or amusements as objects on which a tax can be imposed, and therefore it is not possible to differentiate between an entertainment provider and an entertainment receiver. If the above reasoning is applied, then both entertainment tax as well as service tax can be imposed on activity of broadcasting through television for purpose of entertainment of subscriber or receiver thereof. The two taxes are different aspects of the same activity, which enable two different legislatures to impose tax under distinct taxation entries into different lists. The principle is well settled that two taxes which are separate and distinct imposed on two aspects of an activity are permissible, as in law there is no overlapping. This is because the taxes are relatable to distinct taxation entries in separate legislative lists. In the instant case, Parliament under Finance Act 1994 and its amendments is not imposing a tax on entertainment. Such a tax is being imposed by the state legislature as entertainment is a luxury within the meaning of entry 62 list 2. In the same way, Finance Act along with its amendments seek to impose a tax on service rendered by broadcasting agency which is imposed under entry 97 list 1. In the same vein, under entry 62 list 2, state governments are not imposing any service tax on their cesses. The doctrine of pith and substance is applied to consider wires of legislation impugned on basis of principle of legislative competence in context of legislative relationship between the center and the state. Court observed that the aspect theory has no relevance as such in determining the constitutionality of any provision on the ground of legislative competence in India. Thus, constitutional validity of taxing statute on the ground of legislative competence has to be examined in the context of doctrine of pith and substance as envisaged under Article 246 of Constitution of India read with respective entries in the list. Once contours of an entry under which a legislation is sought to be made is ascertained, next step is to study the legislation in question in order to ascertain whether it falls within contours of that entry. If it does fall within the contours of particular entry in a particular list, then that particular legislature which has enacted it would have legislative competence to enact such a legislation. But a legislation incidentally touching upon an entry in another list does not render it invalid. It means that so long as a piece of legislation is in pith and substance falling within an entry in a particular list, it would be valid as the legislature which has enacted it has the legislative competence to do so. On the other hand, aspect theory is relevant to determine the applicability of a taxing statute on the activity or transaction sought to be taxed, that is, whether the statute covers an activity which falls within a specific taxation entry, either in list 1 or in list 2. Thus, an activity could be taxed by two different legislatures on the basis of entries in respective lists without there being a clash and within their legislative competence. However, aspect of the activity which is being taxed must be relatable to the legislation under a specific entry of a particular list so as to be within the legislative competence of that particular legislature. While applying the aspect theory to present case, it is noted that activity of broadcasting is for the purpose of entertainment of subscriber as held in Purvi Communications case. No entertainment can be presented to viewers unless the broadcaster transmits the signals for instantaneous presentation of any performance film or any program on the television. Thus, there are two aspects in this activity. First is the act of transmission of signals of the content to the subscribers. The second aspect here concerns not only the content of the signals but the effect of the decryption of the signals by the set-top boxes and viewing cards inside these boxes provided by the sessions to the subscribers, which is providing and receiving of entertainment through the television. Without the apparatus provided for by the sessions to decrypt the signals, the subscriber would not be able to watch the content that is transmitted, the content being for the purpose of entertainment. The television entertainment provided by them through their modus operandi, that is, by broadcasting, is a luxury within the meaning of entry 62 list 2. The cesses who are engaged in the activity of providing entertainment are liable to pay service tax on the activity of broadcasting under the provisions of the Finance Act 1994, read with relevant amendments, and are also liable to pay entertainment tax in terms of entry 62 list 2 as being a species of the luxuries. Therefore, both the taxes, one by the state legislature and the other by the parliament, are leviable on the activity of assessees herein. This is because by rendering the service of broadcasting, assessees are entertaining the subscribers within the meaning of entry 62 list 2. There is no overlapping, said the court, in fact or in law, inasmuch as different aspects of the same activity are being taxed under two different legislation by two different legislatures. This is because the activity of broadcasting is a service and liable to service tax imposed by the Parliament entry 97 list 1, and the activity of entertainment is a subject following under entry 62 list 2, and therefore the assessors herein are liable to pay entertainment tax as well. Hence, the state legislatures as well as the parliament both have the legislative competence to levy entertainment tax as well as service tax respectively on the activity carried out by the assessors herein.